right. Hey friends, hey friends. I am going to be jumping in today. So last week we covered creating a marketing plan for the month. And so this week we're going to be going over creating that content calendar. And we're going to be doing this for my photography and marketing business. So that is what you guys will be seeing. And I'm going to show you all of that. So what you're actually going to see is me putting everything into my calendar of what I'm going to be. You're going to actually see me putting everything into that content calendar so that I can get the content created and start to put that out. And we'll go from there. Okay. So what I like to do is I use an Excel spreadsheet because it's something that I can easily just like make into a calendar. I can open it on my phone. I can open it on my computer. You can also do a Google Doc, Google Sheet. I do that for one of my clients. We just do a Google Sheet and that lets her do it. So I am sharing that so that you guys can see it. So now you see what I work with. And over here, right, you kind of have like a big area that you can work with. And so I like to kind of make my notes, right? So what is my focus? I know that my focus is personal branding and marketing. And so we have that in there. Okay, so personal branding and marketing. And then and you can also make notes over here of like, are you going to be reusing a piece that you did on like this day? Are you going to be reusing that somewhere else? So for Monday, the third, and I'm not going to be doing anything for weekends, okay? If I do any content on the weekends, it's stuff that like we're doing in real life. But other than that, I don't put anything on my schedule for weekends because I don't work weekends unless it's for a client, and that's a scheduled thing. So um, that's just kind of how it is. So on Mondays, I do my video, whatever it is. So for this week, it is content calendar, right? So creating a content calendar, and uh, specifically what that'll be is I will make a YouTube video and then I share that over to social media. And I will be specifically sharing that to Facebook, IG, and LinkedIn. And we're just going to abbreviate LinkedIn as LI, make it easy. If you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm bouncing the baby in his bouncer. And we are getting over some virus, and so everyone's a little coffee and having a hard time getting through our sleep. So now, so the other thing is once I do this, like this is something that I have it on YouTube. I can make it into a short. I can also use snippets of what I've made across the board throughout the rest of the month. Okay. So now um, for Tuesday, so I like to do a tip. So this is where we'll do our tip. And what we're actually going to be doing for this tip is February content ideas. And I always do this for the first, I like to try to do this the first week of that month, where I do like between 5, 8, depending on how I'm feeling, different pieces of content that people can create. This is something that I do as a reel. I make it a reel and then I share it. So I make it a reel on IG and then I share it to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Okay. Um, so there is that. So Wednesday, I am actually going to be doing this is where I'm going to start kind of introducing, right? Like we all know as business owners, we wear different hats. And so I'm going to start doing kind of my introductions. So we'll have a February intro, introduction into Michelle, right? So that's an introduction into me. And that is probably gonna be just a post, right? And what I'm actually thinking is it'll probably be a post as a carousel. And I'm going to do that on Facebook, IG, and LinkedIn. Okay. All right. See, so do you see kind of how we're doing this? And now, so here's the other thing, right? So now Thursday, I want to share another tip, tactic, something like that. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take the video that we made and I'm going to make it into a blog. So now I'm going to take last week's video, which was on last Monday, right, the 27th, and I'm going to repurpose that into a blog for here. So last week we did creating a marketing plan. So this is going to be a blog, creating a marketing plan. Now, with that, what I know I'm going to do is, because it's a blog, it's going up on my website. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to link that video back. So link back, link the YouTube video, right? I'm doing that because there's always going to be people who would rather listen than read, always. So I'm going to link that back in. Then I'm going to also make this an article on LinkedIn, okay, with a link back to my blog so that people are going to my website, okay? So that is something we're just going to be getting that out there and building from there. All right, and then I need a little bit of education, right? So I don't really have any education in here. I have some tips. But because we're focusing on personal branding and marketing, we are doing the education on the marketing, but I also want to make sure I'm sprinkling in that personal branding. So in here, I'm going to do a what is personal branding. Okay, so this is going to be education. I've done a carousel, I've done a reel, I've done a post. What do I want to do again? I'm probably going to do another reel. Reels are quick and easy. This is where you guys, your reels don't have to be anything crazy. It can literally be taking what you do and like you throw up a picture, throw up a couple pictures if you've worked with a personal brand photographer before, right? So throw up some pictures, do a voiceover. If you don't want to do that, set up a tripod, set your phone up. I have done it where I have like set up my phone on the back of the Jeep, right? Like on the wheel well, or not the wheel well, on the spare tire, and I've set it up so that it's facing me. I do my recording and that's it. And now you can go in there in your phone and you have the ability to adjust the background noise and everything like that. So it's just focusing on you. You can also use like headphones that have a microphone attached to it. You can also buy a cheap microphone. For Christmas, I got a microphone, and actually that's something that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to learn how to use it. I know, I hear you. Okay, more bounces. More bounces, more bounces. Yeah. All right. So what is personal branding, right? I'm going to do that as a reel. And that is going to be 30 seconds about. Do it as a reel on IG. And then we're going to share that to Facebook as a YouTube short. And on LinkedIn. Okay, so why am I doing video on LinkedIn, right? So now this is a really great thing. And we'll get to this, but on LinkedIn is driving more people into doing videos. They're showing more video content. They're realizing that that's helping keep people on their platform longer. So if you're doing stuff for your business, this is a great opportunity to add in that for your business. That's also going to get more people onto your page. Now, everything I do on LinkedIn, right now, because of what I'm balancing, I'm pretty much keeping everything the same. Depending on your business, you may want to look at how you're wording things differently because you might have different audiences on each platform. All right, so just a thing to focus on. Now, I know like when I'm doing personal branding content and marketing content, I am generally talking to business owners. I'm generally talking to decision makers. So people in the C-suite, managers, that kind of thing. So that is how I'm going to talk. And I'm going to talk like that across all platforms for that. Okay. So now we're going to go back in here. All right. So now what are we going to do for our YouTube for next week? So I've done creating a content calendar. I've done creating a marketing plan. So I'm kind of coming off of the marketing. Now we're going into personal branding. And so this is the cool thing. Some of this stuff, so utilizing personal branding in your business. Okay. Now, some of this, right? And that was really long. And you can mess with this stuff later. Like you can always wrap your text or whatever. So how I'm going to do that, that's going to be a YouTube video. Okay, and then we're going to share it to Facebook, IG, LinkedIn. Yeah, right. So we're going to go with another tip. So this is where, so things that you always want to make sure that you're having in there, you always want to make sure that you are doing some things, right? So you want to get a lead magnet. If you can get a lead magnet every week, that's great. At least once a month if you can, right? And so this, my tip is actually going to be a lead magnet. Yeah, my tip is actually going to be a lead magnet, and it's going to be 5 brand images you need. Sorry, 5 brand images. So tip is going to be a lead magnet. 5 brand images. Great. All right. X, that's in the wrong square. Control V. Move it up. Great. And again, I'm going to be sharing this over. So this is going to be a post. And I'm going to put it on social media. So this is a post. This is going to be IG, LinkedIn, and Facebook. All right. We're going. All right. So and something that you can always do that might make it easier is like if you like to try to kind of rotate through everything, you can always go in and show different, you can like color code your things, right? So you can say like, oh, I have a blog here, I have all these different things. So you can always do that. We're gonna turn the baby. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna be writing a little bit slower. So those are things that you can do. But here's what I'm repurposing, right? So now I am taking part of this content on the 7th, and I'm going to be using that in the 10th. All right. Now, the other stuff is other things that are going to be coming out on the 10th. I will be using as education throughout the rest of the month because it's a big overview of a topic. And then we're going to dive in deeper, right? So now with that, right? So same thing. So this blog is going to be the blog of creating the content calendar. Right? That is on the 13th. That's what I'm taking from the 3rd. So I already know on the 20th, I'm going to have a blog. Again, looping, and all of this is to loop people back. This helps boost your SEO, all of that. So this blog is going to be utilizing personal branding. That's not how utilizing personal branding in your business, right? And then it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to take those things. I'm going to write the blog. I'm going to link the YouTube video, and then I'm going to make it an article. And now, like with those blogs, so this is the other thing. I do share. I try to like put in a couple pictures. A blog is like 300 words. A blog only has to be a couple paragraphs. Couple sentences, throw in some pictures. That in itself answer a question that people have and put it back out there into the world. It helps boost you in SEO, and that's what we did, right? Like, so when we looked up last month, and I'll link that video back for you guys so that you can always go back and look at it, but we looked at what were questions that people were asking. Put that in there. Now, specifically for February, I don't have any specials, but March, I know that lead into senior portraits. Okay, so I know that I have to start leading into senior portraits. People start booking senior portraits, and with spring break being in March, I need to have that geared up. So I'm also going to need to start educating into senior portraits as well. So I have a lot of personal branding, but I might throw in some senior portrait pictures. Okay, so I know I have that coming up. Do you guys have any questions so far? If you have questions, make sure that you're dropping them in the comments so I can come back and answer those for you. I hope that you are seeing how I'm kind of repurposing all of this stuff too as I go in here. So we have this here. So then we might want to talk about, oh, where are you going, buddy? I know you're super squirmy right now. Yeah. We're just going to pause and I will come back to this, guys. Okay, jumping back in. Man, it's good. So we're jumping back in over here. All right. So you see kind of how I'm reusing some of this stuff. I'm kind of getting that out there. If I had like specials or anything, this is where I'd be mentioning my specials throughout the week. The other thing is a lot of this stuff, you can reuse this content and you can continue to push it as stories. Right? So I will actually be doing sharing what I learned at my owned and operated meeting. So this will probably be a reel. And so I will know that I need on that Tuesday, I will need to record a reel and share that for IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube short. So I know, like, sharing what I learned at my woo meeting. So I know, right? So I have that things going on during the month or anything. Like if I had photo shoots coming up or anything like that, that's also where you can do that. And right now I am just, because I take January off right now, I am just getting people scheduled. So I don't have anything, but that's also where like I can throw those things in of doing that stuff. Now, this is where I want to start transitioning into seniors. I already know, so I've done product-based. So now we're going to do personal branding or service-based. Okay, so we have that. Same thing with these blogs. So these blogs are coming back in. You lost your ring. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, you lost your rings. There you go. All right. So personal branding for that. So that's going to be this blog. Products. And then in April, it'll be personal branding for that. Now, this is also, so like I mentioned, so this is, I'm going to start introducing senior sessions. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey, hey. So some of that, so some of this content, so I'm going to be like, so this will be Valentine's. So Valentine's, I'm actually going to do a picture of my kiddos. So Valentine's behind the scenes. So that'll be another reel. And then that'll also give me some images to share for that. Okay. And so that'll be another reel. I'll put that on IG, Facebook, YouTube short, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. All right. And for me, this is not meant to drive business. This is something to get people looking at it and for things that they want to do with their kiddos. They can do that. And so, and that's something that I know that, and we'll talk about like how do you implement this. So what I am probably going to do is I'm going to need to drop some sort of like senior thing in here. So start to introduce that senior stuff. So for Wednesday, we've introduced me. So now let's talk about like introduction to senior things. So I'm just going to go over those with you guys so that you know what I did. We're going to just make this a little bit larger because I have to sit further back for the kiddo. But this is something that like across the board, things that'll stay consistent. So when I make a YouTube video, I share that YouTube video because I want people to go back to watch that YouTube video. I share that specifically to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. When I do a tip, if I make it a reel, any reel I do, I take that reel, I make it on IG because I have seen better performance on Instagram when those reels are created in Instagram. And then I share it, right? So I have my Instagram through Meta. I have it set up that whenever I post to Instagram, it goes over to Facebook and vice versa. So doing that, I will also share those reels as YouTube shorts, and then I will share it to LinkedIn. That introduction, this is going to be a post as a carousel. So it'll be a picture of me, and I'll do some words over it where I talk about myself, I talk about my life, talk about my background, something like that. And then again, I will share it to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Creating a marketing plan, that'll be the blog from the previous week. So those blogs are always a link to the previous YouTube video, and then I make it an article on LinkedIn. And we'll be doing that. So that will stay the same for all of those blogs. So what I did add, well, I had it not recording because he was getting frustrated. We had the making of a senior session. That was that behind the scenes compilation. That'll be a reel. And then, then we have the YouTube video, personal branding for service-based businesses. Then I'm going to use the tip of tying your personal branding into your marketing to get sales. So I'm just going to do, I'll do something with that. I have a reel for location scouting for senior portraits on the 28th. I will be doing the blog for the personal branding for product-based businesses. And then I'm going to do an introduction to wall art where I will be showing room views with senior portraits. Okay. And that will be Facebook, IG, Pinterest. Okay. Doing that as well. All right. And so that that's not how you spell scouting. Scouting. Cool. So now you guys see kind of what I'm doing. I start to lead into senior portraits. And then the other thing that I will do is I will go in here, and as I complete things, I will make them good. If I get behind on something, then it's bad. If I haven't done it yet, then it's bad. So creating this content calendar, right? So this is today's video. I'm actually a day late because everyone was sick. So that is bad. I'm behind on that. That also means that I have to make this still. So that's where I am on that. So we'll get those posted and then they will turn green. The other thing I like to do is I like to take these and like, oh, hey, I'm going to do this as a reel. So I'm going to make it a color so that I know like, oh, reels are going to be blue, right? Posts as carousels where I'm going to need a picture. I'm going to need an image. We'll do those as orange. Writing, this is writing. So let's make that gray. Blocks are gray. Reels are blue. Okay, so the other thing that this lets me see is, am I getting enough, variety in there? Okay, and doing that, so this will be a YouTube video. Videos, yellow, blue. Let's make that purple. Okay. So this will be a post as well. So this will, actually, I want to make this a reel. So make that a reel because I already have a post here. That's a blog, so that's gray, and you get the idea. So I would love to see what you guys create out of this, how you make your content calendar. Show me, share it with me. I'd love to give you guys shout outs, celebrate with you. And then again, if you have any questions, and something I would like to add into my calendar in the future is doing a Q&A where I get questions and I can go in there and I can answer for you guys. Like, hey, these are the questions that came in, and I go in and I answer them. So other than that, please make sure that you subscribe so that you can get all of the cool stuff. And I will talk to you next week. All right. Bye, guys. Oh, and if you aren't, follow me on Facebook, Instagram.